Hey, it's Sam, and I'm really excited today to tell you about a new course that I'm going to be doing on May 27th and 28th on Vedic Astrology and family karma. The evolution of family karmas through the planet signs, houses, and nakshatras. And it's going to be a great opportunity for you to really understand and heal your karmic connection with your family. That includes your father, which is related to the sun in the 10th house, your mother, the moon, your siblings, Mars and Mercury. I'm going to be talking about siblings in a way that you haven't heard before. There's going to be a lot of stuff that you haven't heard before. As you can see, I have this outline here of each of the big players: your father, sun, 10th house, and your evolving confidence and truthful power. The behavior problem can be male narcissism. This is narcissism male. Self-importance, aversion to responsibility, acting like a mouse or a tyrant, right? This is the sun. The mother, related to the moon, 4th house, and your evolving emotions and truthful connection to the heart. This is also the behavioral problem, could be female narcissism. You might not have heard of this or heard this type of description before, but that relates to things like codependence, boundaries, emotional manipulation, sort of victim complex, passive aggression. Again, in many ways, or I shouldn't even say in many ways, it's just as much the type of archetypal narcissism as the masculine domineering, which is more of a sun thing. The feminine narcissism revolves more around passive aggression, but it's still the same kind of self-centered, everything revolves around my emotions. Or with the masculine narcissism, it's more everything revolves around me and how I can empower or, overpower others. But then there's many others, siblings, which are actually Mars and Mercury. We're going to talk about that. Your children, Jupiter, 5th and 9th houses. Again, we have these behavior problems and the evolution of those things. Again, this is an overview here that I have. But then, we also get into lovers and partners and others in general, which is Venus. And then elders, which is related to Saturn, evolving our commitments and really learning how to forgive others due to their fragility, mistakes, and cruelty. So again, it's very powerful. And one of the main bonuses that you'll get in this course, there are several great bonuses. The first that you get immediately is 2 hours from the childhood astrology course. I taught a course on childhood astrology a couple years ago that was actually the most well-attended course I've ever done. 290 students attended this course, the astrology of childhood patterns and struggles. And a bonus class that you get immediately is a 2-hour excerpt from the afternoon of the first day, where I break down things such as the Saturn squares and our individuation that happens at 7 years old, 14 years old, 21 years old. Also the second house and evolving family. Also avashtas, some case studies. But another one of the bonus classes that you get, I'll be teaching live on Sunday, May 14th. Again, if you're seeing this afterwards, it will be a recording for all who pay for any of this course. Whether you can attend in real time or not, you get the recording. So please, I'm always deluged. I can't make it one of those days. You get the recordings. Please, please, please understand, okay? But I am going to be teaching live on Sunday, May 14th on this overview. I'm going to go deeply into this Vedic Astrology and Family Karma Masterclass. Again, I'll teach this overview of the planets and houses live so you can understand these overarching themes before the full class begins. So again, by the end of the weekend of May 14th, I'm going to go deeply into all of these structures and really understand this problem, this behavior problem that we're trying to evolve and develop through our family karma. Then there's another live family karma course on the royal family karma case study. Again, we have good birth times for these folks. We've seen them our whole lives. We're going to dig deeper into these relationships between, again, parents and children, siblings, grandchildren, things like that. So again, this is a great opportunity. We're going to get deep into this family karma because let's be real. The cold hard truth about the family, again, we're, constantly evolving, through our, courses and whatnot, but then we get into the family dynamic and we're just back into our sort of triggered responses. As it says here, you spend your whole life evolving, trying to evolve personally. You've been to classes, gone on retreats, then out of the blue, there's a message from your mother, and suddenly you're 10 years old again, triggered. Or your sibling, who really knows how to push your buttons and get under your skin, maybe makes a passive-aggressive comment online, or maybe more typically on the holidays at the family gatherings, trying to navigate the minefield of intolerance, judgment, old wiring, like a fuse to a bomb, like ready to explode. Again, this is sort of our soul, or this is our birth family, but we're really trying to create a soul family. And this is the family you were born into, but it's not necessarily the family that you will create. Creating your soul family is as important as understanding your birth family. It's not possible to do one without the other. You're not going to be able to create that soul family until you understand your birth family and the values and connections and triggers and buttons that have been deeply embedded in the hard wiring. It's like that deep hard wiring, that hardwired programming that we don't see, right? Sort of like if you look in the room you're in, you can see all of the appliances and all the stuff that turns on when you flick the switch. But behind the wall, there's all these wires and all this stuff behind that's actually making everything work. Your life is kind of like that to some extent. So again, what we're going to talk about in this bonus class on May 14th, I'm going to go into these evolutionary processes and how to evolve these issues in your life. And again, these are huge issues. I'm talking about them very quickly here now, but it's going to be like a 2-hour class on your relationship with power. Think of how power is such a big part of your life. Power. This was learned from the Son. We look to the Father. To the Father. We look to the Father to be the one that was powerful. And how to use power wisely, how to stay the course, how to use power without being a domineering person. How to use and how to not shrink from power, how to meet our responsibilities, etc. How to not be, like a mouse or a tyrant. And this is kind of what we are. We're like, well, I'm afraid. Or it's like, okay, I'm a tyrant. And again, you might think, well, I'm not really like that. But is that true? Think about it. Think about situations where when you're around a very powerful person, you sort of become more like a mouse. But when you're seen as the powerful person, you have to be careful not to become like the tyrant. And we're all kind of in this relationship with the Son, right? We can, you can see a person who, and we're usually somewhere on that spectrum of extremes. The less we're acting meek and like a mouse around the powerful person, the less we're acting like a tyrant around the person we have power over. So again, this relationship with power is analyzed by analyzing the Sun. And of course, in the course, we're going to be looking at the sign of the Sun, the aspects on the Sun is going to be a big thing. Aspects, signs, houses, all of this is what we're going to break down over the entire weekend. We're going to get in and really examine these things so you can see in your chart, your relationship to the Sun is going to show your relationship to power and a relationship to your Father. They're going to be seen. Also, the 10th house is that place where we use that power. Same way with the moon, same way with all of these planetary forces. There are forces in you that are evolving, but you were brought into this world basically against your will. You were pulled into this lifetime with that group of people. You didn't choose them. They were chosen to show you the lessons that you needed to learn in this lifetime. And this quality of examining the specifics of that and looking at these case studies will be what we're going to do on the full weekend that's happening on May 27th and 28th. But the first weekend on May 14th, I'm going to break down all of these processes archetypally before we get into the actual class material, right? So you'll really get the first part of the material, the first part of the class. I'm sort of teaching in advance on May 14th. It'll be taught live Sunday. Again, if you can't come, which most people won't, you get the recordings. Should never let that stop you from ever getting any of my classes. Of course, they're recorded. So again, live Saturday and Sunday, May 27th and 28th is the course proper. lifetime access to the recordings. If you can't make it in real time, you're home from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific, $47. This is a 50% limited discount. The price does go back up to actually $97. 10 to 12 hours of classes. And you just click here to register, and it's a 30-day money-back guarantee as well. If you don't think it's worth it, then you get your money back. But again, people never do that. But again, all you do is click here to register, again, and you just go and you go to the page, and you can pay right there, and you get the course. So again, go ahead and take care of this. It's going to be a great opportunity for you to really unravel this old wiring, because this is the sort of substance and the sort of wiring behind the scenes. It's like the circuits behind the wall. We see the wall, but we forget that there's all of this power behind it making everything work. It's going to be incredibly revelatory for you in your life to not just understand how these planets refer to these parts of your family and your nature, but also what to do about them based on your chart and how you have experienced these things. It's very specific, and we're going to look at the charts of families. This isn't just going to be theoretical. You'll see charts of families. I'm going to be bringing in some of my senior teachers to also share some of their charts of their families and whatnot, and we're going to look at it, and you're going to see it, and you'll be able to apply it in your life as well. So anyway, I look forward to that class. I'm really looking forward to teaching it. And starting with May 14th, this first bonus class, well, first of all, you get access to the 2 hours from the Childhood Astrology course. You get access to that right now. And again, you have lifetime access to these things. Then Sunday, May 14th, the live Family Karma Masterclass, which is going to go on to be a separate class that I'm just going to offer, but you'll see me teach it live off of this framework. And then Sunday, May 21st, you'll see the Royal Family case study.